Hello, Dog Pound South campers. This is the Cleveland Browns Dog Pound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. I'm your host, Steve Gill. Yesterday was a little surprising for Browns fans. I think that's caught me completely by surprise is the offensive line. I know they're dealing with injuries, but still, the middle of your offensive line knew Dexter Lawrence was a type of defensive lineman who could change a game, and he proved it yesterday. But there were no answers. I had read from a New York Giant beat writer. He was in the locker room afterwards. The first two games of this year, the Giants blitzed about 25% of the time. The Giant defensive coaches noticed that the Browns were chipping and double teaming a lot, so they dialed up the blitz. 57% of the time they were blitzing. There has to be a better way to deal with this because it's going to keep happening all year. Deshaun Watson, another 8 sacks, 17 pressures. He's going to get killed before this is over. So I've also noticed that pre-snap, the offensive line, they're not really communicating with each other. It's a little subtle thing. I mean, you set your blocking assignments when you come up to the line of scrimmage, but you see no communication, which is odd for a new offense. Very strange, very, very strange. Also, you're going to have to stop with the empty sets. They should have come out like they did against Jacksonville, heavy set, run the ball. Yesterday, the Ravens, I read this, that they went heavy set 22% of the time. Didn't throw the ball once. That's 2 running back, 2 tight end, 1 wide receiver. And they had a 53% success ratio and also averaged 7.5 yards a play. I think the Browns will need to go heavy set, but then again, they've got to have the available tight ends and offensive linemen to do it. And right now, it's not looking good. Also, like I said, let's stop with the empty sets for now. Also, we're awaiting word on after week 3, and we got 4 players going for MRIs today. Of course, Myles Garrett, Wyatt Teller, Jedrick Wills, and James Hudson. And you notice 3 of those guys are offensive linemen, 2 starters, supposedly. It was weird that the emergency backup offensive line in the second half did better than the starting offensive line. I mean, when you put Bitonio over at left tackle, and, he doesn't have the quicks to be a left tackle, but he played well. He gave up a sack because his feet just aren't fast enough. Posick, the center, you put at left guard. You brought in Nick Harris, and you brought in Zach Zinter, who I have a feeling you're going to see a lot more of, which is fine by me. He played well. DeJuan Jones, he is just too heavy. He's too heavy to play tackle. He needs to lose about 20, 30 pounds. And that won't happen within a week. He's slow. He's only taking 2 steps before he opens up to the pass rusher. And, that's fine if you're quick. But when you're slow, that doesn't help. He should be taking 3 to 4 steps before he opens up to the pass rusher. Luckily, he's got long arms. But all in all, the offensive line they did cut down on penalties. They only had 5 penalties as opposed to 10 to 13, 11, whatever. But these penalties just kill them. They had opportunities in the second half to take this game back. The defense held the Giants without a point and no third down conversions, 0 third down conversions in the second half. So the defense was playing well, with the exception of Martin Emerson. I'm sorry. I don't know what's happened to Martin Emerson, but he's no longer a number 2 corner. Denzel Ward took it to Malik Neighbors, but Malik Neighbors just used and abused Martin Emerson. It's just, you could tell he was overmatched by a rookie. So now the big concern is, will Deshaun Watson survive this if the offense doesn't get better? Let's take a quick break right here, and we'll talk about it on the other side. Okay, a lot of people are going to lay the blame on Deshaun Watson for this. And yes, there were some points at this game where the blame can be laid. I'd say 20%. The offensive line gets the vast majority of the criticism for this game. I don't know what's going on with them, but if you really look at last year, they didn't really play that well. A lot of people are saying bring back Bill Callahan, but let me tell you something. He's not having fun in Nashville right now. So I don't think it's as easy as Bill Callahan fixing things. I think it really was the injury to Adeniji. He is way better than Jerron Christian and Leroy Watson, the tackles from last year. Way better. I would even say he's probably better than James Hudson at left tackle. James Hudson is a better right tackle than he is a left tackle. But Deshaun Watson, yes, he did overthrow some passes, but he also gave them the ability to get back in this game. My one criticism was on a 4th and 1 when they had an RPO and he had Jordan Atkins wide open, and he didn't throw him the ball. He tried to run it. If he had thrown him the ball, it would have been first down inside the Giants' territory. So, do I lay the blame on Watson? No, I do not lay the blame on Watson. 20% of it, yes. The rest of it, offensive line and Martin Emerson. Okay, look, the last 4th down he tried, he hit Cedric Tillman in the numbers. The rookie just has to catch that. That was a perfect pass. If it goes between the 1 and the 9, the receiver should catch it. Dante Foreman only had 11 carries. I know, like I said earlier, heavy package, but they're going to need some more offensive linemen. It was just a weird week 3. I mean, winless teams won in week 3. That's the way the NFL works. Right now, they've got to get a few things fixed on their offensive line. They got to take advantage of Deshaun Watson's mobility. I'm surprised they didn't roll him out more, because up next to the Raiders was Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby. Those two guys are extremely talented defensive linemen. So this could be a disaster. But on the other side, they spend the next 3 games on the road, which could be the best thing for this team right now. Get on the road, fix some things. You could beat the Raiders if you can keep Deshaun Watson healthy and upright, and you could beat the Commanders in Washington. Then their 3rd game will be Philly. Philly hasn't been really burning it up so far the beginning of the season. So if you can come back from this road trip and be 3-3 going on a 3-game homestand with the possibility of Nick Chubb coming back, I like the Browns' chances. And that's another thing. Jordan Akins has been doing a fantastic job filling in for David Njoku. Just imagine what this offense would look like if they had Njoku in there with Akins. I guarantee it would have been a lot different. So let's just keep that in mind. This is a new offense, new struggles. They've got to get it fixed. Don't sit there and say, oh, we got to bring back Joe Flacco. That ain't going to happen. Yeah, I know the backup quarterback's always the most popular player on the team, but somebody else's backup quarterback is more popular. I will note one thing. And I'm not going to listen to sports talk radio today. I'm not going to go to fan sites. I'm not going to go to clickbaits. I read someone call it a demolition leapfrog, Barry McBride over at the Orange and Brown Report, where everybody tries to outdo each other and how terrible this team is, only to get attention to themselves. Social media doesn't look to fix what's wrong. They look to they look to make sure they're not wrong. So Deshaun Watson's not going anywhere. Joe Flacco is not the answer. Baker Mayfield is not the answer. The problem is this team. Every year, my wife and I come back from Pennsylvania. We either drive through Ohio on the way up or on the way back, or both. And you always see, we go through Akron, and we always see brown stuff on cars, flags, license plates, cling stickers. This year on our way back, we noticed we didn't see anything. We didn't see any browns. She was the first to notice it. I wasn't. She goes, I don't see any brown stuff on cars. And that's right. I mean, like me, I grew up a Cleveland Browns fan. I'm 66. My dad loved to go to football games. He took my brother and I. So I'm a product of that. And I read somewhere where somebody put it correctly. Fans love the Browns. They just don't like this team. And I would put that's the exact way I would put it. They love the Browns, but they just don't like this team. And this team has to become likable again. Fans are selling their week 3, and you're already selling your tickets to opposing fans. I mean, look, just sell your tickets to another Browns fan. How about that? I don't buy season tickets. I used to buy season tickets to my alma mater, Vanderbilt, and then I stopped doing it because I just didn't have time to go to the games. I would give my brother, who goes to games, and he would make sure Vandy fans would get the tickets, not opposing fans. But I couldn't go to the games because of work, so I just gave up on it. Sometimes you got to make a living. It's a little bit more important than going to a Saturday night football game. But this team has to become likable again. I think getting on the road, getting away from the fans at home is the perfect prescription for this. I am not going to give up. I never give up on this team, but I will say one thing. This offense better start gelling, and that offensive line better start doing a better job. Because right now they are the sore spot on this team. The defense can't carry it, can't keep you in a game if your offense can't muster any drives, and the defense has to stay on the field and wear themselves out. So let's get more offensive creativity. Let's play to our strengths. I know you're going to want to run the ball, Kevin. I would keep running it. Jerome Ford had a decent game except for a fumble, and that was all on him. I mean, he was looking up when he grabbed the ball. He's looking at the defense. He already had the first down. All he had to do was fall forward. Boom, first down. So just clean up the mess. That's all I ask. Let's get back on the winning track. Go out to Las Vegas and see if we can beat a Raiders team that we should be able to beat. The Browns should be able to win that game. But like I said, any given Sunday, any team can beat any other team. So that's it for today. This has been the Cleveland Browns Dawg podcast, part of the Fanatical L's Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. I'm your host, Steve Gill. Just a reminder, go to our webpage, check out Hemisphere Coffee, one of our newer sponsors. Just click on it, it'll take you right to their website, and you can check them out. So, again, like I always say, we're fans just like you. We're disappointed this morning just like you. But I am not going to give up hope yet. So, everybody, have a great day and go Browns.